Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody? Everybody's day. We did it through the week. We finished strong. Did you finish strong? We finished strong. Yeah. Shifting around, trying to make the best of this light. Yeah. I'm in my room today. The lighting is not the best. This is going to be a short one. Just come on, share a little word of encouragement, power you up to have a nice, relaxing, refreshing weekend. I don't really have a special theme for the day like I did yesterday. I just feel on my heart to share, to encourage somebody out there, to let you know that you are loved unconditionally, widely, deeply. Yeah. I was doing a prayer and fasting today, supposed to have been. I didn't fast as best as it could, right? Yeah, but one of the points in it was like reminding yourself that you have the fruits of the spirit, like seek to cultivate them, like gentleness and kindness and love and peacefulness and long suffering. I know I'm probably leaving out some. One of the points you're supposed to cultivate these things, and you're supposed to always remember that you're infinitely loved. And then I guess actually that was kind of my theme for the day. Then I went on and I read something, this like a devotional that I subscribe to, and it was speaking to how yes, God loves us and we're the apple of his eye and he has all these wonderful plans for us and so on. But we have to come to the place that we allow ourselves to be loved. And that's not even just when it comes to God, right? Even like in our brokenness, we don't have to wait until we have everything all together and we're perfect to allow persons to love us or to allow God to love us, you know. We're gonna come to that place where we could be comfortable and understand, even as we seek to work on ourselves, to improve ourselves, to grow, to heal and so on, we can be in a position to offer love, especially to ourselves, to love ourselves, and then to allow ourselves to be loved by others. So I am going to read a little word. What came to my mind was the passage that speaks about how nothing can separate us from God's love. So I'm going to read that. That is Romans chapter 8. Let me take it from let me take it from verse 31. In view of all this, what can we say? If God is for us, who can be against us? Certainly not God, who did not even keep back his own Son, but offered him for us all. He gave us his Son. Will he not also freely give us all things? Who will accuse God's chosen people? God himself declares them not guilty. Who then will condemn them? Not Christ Jesus, who died, or rather, who was raised to life and is at the right side of God, pleading with him for us? Who then can separate us from the love of Christ? Can trouble do it, or hardship, or persecution, or hunger, or poverty, or danger, or death? As the scripture says, for your sake we are in danger of death at all times. We are treated like sheep that are going to be slaughtered. No, in all these things we have complete victory through him who loved us. For I am certain that nothing can separate us from his love, neither death, nor life, neither angels, nor other heavenly rulers or powers, neither the present, nor the future, neither the world above, nor the world below. There is nothing in all creation that will ever be able to separate us from the love of God, which is ours through Christ Jesus our Lord. That's a very comforting kind of scripture, very reassuring. Like no matter what, even at times when we ourselves, we feel very alone and forsaken, and you're going through different trials, and you feel like no one understands, no one is there for me, even in our lowest moments, God still loves us and is always there for us and always surrounding us. I always picture him like around me, giving me like a big bear hug and like holding me. Most nice from behind. Like you ever come up behind someone and like just hold them and like I guess a good visual is like you think sometimes when you see people bungee jumping and you might have someone like behind them. What an example. But yeah, right? Holding me and it's like very comforting, it's very reassuring and it's very like stabilizing as a good word too. Just holding me in place. Yeah. A very comforting kind of love. A love like no other. It doesn't like vary from day to day. Like when I'm having an off day, he loves me less than when I feel like I'm on point. It's a steady kind of unwavering love. Yeah, it's very reassuring. I think it's a good thing to meditate on now, like in kind of times of uncertainty. I really am not speaking too much about that, but I am in the world and I do know what's going on and what's of concern to persons right now. And some people can be very anxious, very fearful, feel very unsure in times like this. And even in these times, we can still rest assured that there's nothing separating us from God's love. Neither the present nor the future. It's just there for us to tap into, and it's given very freely, as I always say, unconditionally. Sometimes I don't know if you've ever experienced it, like some persons might love one thing about you. I'm not speaking to the extent, no, like for all of us. My neighbor and I, we were having this conversation, like, so even we might be friends, but there might be some things about me, some traits he might not care for, some things in him I might not care for. I'm not speaking about that kind of thing. But some people love you conditionally, like when you do what I want to do or when you do things my way, then I love you. But when you want to assert yourself and, look at things differently, then I don't love you. It's not that kind of thing. It's unwavering. And I shared this thing online today. It was a birthday card that I received. I think I spoke about this before. From a beautiful person. We were at a conference, but we didn't get to connect like these things can be very busy and very overwhelming. So we didn't get to actually connect and to speak in person at the conference. And what he did was to mail this birthday card home here. I sent my home address and mail it. Yeah. I thought that was such a simple, such a touching thing to do. Just a simple card with like a nice handwritten note, like telling me thanks for the light and the joy that I bring. Because the way I am, I carry that with me wherever I go. It could be the most fancy kind of international thing. It could be the simplest thing. I stay true to myself no matter what. So it was this note basically saying, thank you for the love and the joy that you bring. It is a gift. And you remind us of how we could come together and make things work. And we all, I don't remember the exact words. I don't want to say it wrong. But basically, like we could like find similarities in each other and come together. Or it reminds us of our purpose, why we come to these things, like to try to make the world a better place, right? And also remind us that it is possible for us to work together towards a common goal. Though might we see things differently, we might have different points of view in terms of how we get to that goal, you know. Maybe for me, I might say the best way is to take the straight road, and you might be like, no, you need to go on the more wandering kind of scenic route and go up and come down and turn this way. And another person might be like, you need to go through that road there, although it has a no entry sign. We need to disregard that because that's going to be the best route. So we have different views. We just have to learn how to respect varying views and come together for the better good. And what that means, sometimes like tucking away your ego, you know, and focusing on your purpose and, as I said, what is shared goals and so on. Yeah, just having a nice quiet night, a quiet Friday night. Yeah, listen. I thought about going to play some dominoes with mom, but then I said I'll just come home. So I'm gonna see her tomorrow anyway. And I didn't want to go and then feel rushed late to be watching the time and so on, you know. So I'm gonna get to the that very soon. I'm gonna get some time off, some time at home soon. And for sure, I'm gonna make time to do that. And I wanna take her out for a nice drive. Those two things I have in mind for her. I also have in mind spending some nice me time, some nice therapy in more ways than one. Yeah, do some nice things for myself. I want to get to the beach. Um, I don't want to make too many plans though, because I also want to have a lot of days where I just get up, what they call them pajama days. I just get up and do completely nothing, or just see where the day leads me. Big up, big up. Hey, hey, how are you? It's good to see you. How are you? And how was your day? Yeah, I'm just here chatting. I don't have any special agenda. But I read a little passage there, and I'm talking basically about knowing that you are loved. Yeah, some of us it's not easy for us to remember that and to accept that. But otherwise, I'm just here sharing about how I'm gonna spend a little vacation time that I'm getting coming up. Only you're only 500. I'm honored to hear that. That is my privilege, right? Very nice. But I hope that I will be one of many more to come. That you'll get some more. Yeah. We don't even say Barbadians, we say Bajans. Are very friendly people. Yeah, pretty famous for that, I think. That's the reason most people say, probably if you ask two out of three persons when they come to Barbados, you're gonna get the usual thing: the sun, the sea, the good food, and then inevitably they're gonna tell you the people. Yeah, very friendly people and people like that. And so nice things we do, like it doesn't mean anything. Like I remember a time this person shared on some kind of tourist website talking about Barbados. They were going to Harrison's Cave. I don't know if you know about the cave. And we don't even see them anymore. But you know these cars you have like call we call them mini mokes, like these open cars. Like they don't have I think they used to have like something you could pull over, but they don't have windows and so on. And they got soaking wet. That's so interesting that you don't see them anymore. Used to be a real tourist kind of thing. And they said they just stop at a shop and somebody like give them a shirt to put on and went and tried their shirt and they just stopped to ask directions, but the person really, you know, went that little extra mile to see after them. And they said like for that kind of reason that inspired them to keep going. And when I was reading that, I was like, but that's a normal thing, like something anybody would do. Is not so special. But to that person it was something special that stood out, you know. I'm very You have a good sense of humor. Everything is. Sometimes people laugh. It could be funny, but it's when you want someone to take something seriously. Everything is a joke. So sometimes people say like Barbados is not a real place. everything is a joke. Yeah. But tell me how your day was. Are you looking forward to your weekend? Do you have plans for your weekend? Yeah, how's everything with you? I know you ain't gonna be making me doing all the talking because I'm even a bit hoarse. Yeah, tomorrow I'm taking my car to get painted. My little Betsy Boo. I think most of us take everything, the Caribbean on a whole. Everything is a joke. As soon as something can happen right now in this moment, like, oh, I'm here chatting with you. And then before you know it, 2 instants, somebody takes and makes a video. When it's a video with like some kind of music or something, to it and so on, and make a whole joke of it, boy. Yeah, everything is a joke. Well, maybe it's good for your mental health. But it's very true. Every single thing. And we're very good at laughing at ourselves as well. It's the island life. And partying. Yeah. And the very slow pace. So you see when you come on vacation now, you love that because you figure you leave your own rushing and hustling and stressful life and come here for the island life and everything is laid back and that nice slow pace and everything. But suppose you come to live now and you want to be getting things done, you don't be so amused with that slow pace anymore. That is just what it is. That's how you deal with stress. That's a good point. Because you know what? Sometimes you feel helpless about a situation. A good example is like the roads. Roads riddled with potholes, terrible roads. Yeah. So people make jokes about it. It's like, well, this one here we could make a swimming pool out of this hole here. This one here we could plant some banana trees. Yeah. People make a lot of jokes about things. Mhm. I think it's mostly a good thing though, and it's not that they don't care or it's like a lot of tongue in cheek. Yeah, tongue in cheek. Yeah, just being clever and witty about things. Yeah, that the road's terrible. If they're terrible, well, the real terrible boy. Sometimes I have to be like apologizing to my car. You try your best to dodge them, but then you can't always dodge them because like to dodge them, sometimes you will end up hitting into like oncoming traffic. So sometimes you just have to slow down as best you can and weather it. They're really, really bad, boy. Yeah. Your day was okay. You're just chilling. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad that you get to relax yourself. No, me too. I just unwinding. I just came home. We can't even study what I've done since I came home. Well, I brought some stuff for my daughter to eat, so I gave her that. Oh, and then I was sharing some videos. I had spoken last night about this young lady that's going to Carifta. You know Carifta? I can't remember if you tell me that you are from the Caribbean or you just have the Caribbean connections. Carifta is like the athletic meet, track and field meet for the Caribbean throughout the region. Yeah, so I was sharing some things about her and then two persons that have birthdays today. Yeah, I was doing that. hmm And now I'm here chatting with you. And then when I'm done, I'm going to go and cook something. I'm going to call and chat with mom and I'm just going to relax. Like, probably watch something on television. Yeah, I'm going to give myself a nice warm bath and relax myself. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Just watch some TV and take it easy. Right, yeah, it's athletics. Yeah. hmm It's going to be in Grenada this year. I don't know if you've ever been to Grenada. I have been. They also have games called Whitsuntide Games. This is the Whitsuntide weekend. That's a bit further down. Normally like April or May. That's when you get our like what you would call Pentecost Sunday, but Whitsuntide. That bank holiday weekend. Yeah. So our club we went there. They went on 3 occasions. My daughter and I we went twice. Really beautiful. Yeah, I really like Grenada a lot. Very feel very comfortable there, very safe. It reminds me of Barbados like years ago. It's quiet. I don't want to use the word sleepy. It's quiet, right? Not a lot of like life and so on all the time. At least not where we were. I don't think in general there is though. It's probably like certain days you get activities. Yeah. But where we were, that area, I guess near Granans Beach, which is like I guess their famous beach and so on. Yeah, really nice and relaxed, and then you can look up because you know Barbados is pretty flat. So I like when I visit the other islands and I can look up, or even like if I'm on the beach and I can look up and have that view of all the mountains and so on. I like it a lot. Okay, all right, you take care too. Thanks so much for coming in. And I will pass on the greetings to her. Yeah, she's a really sweet young lady. She's really been putting in the work. So, you know, I have that heart for the young people. We gotta encourage them all the time in positive things. Yeah. So if I don't hear, if I don't come back on, have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you soon. Yeah, you be good. You be good. Not staying on here long today. Mhm. Thank you. I will. I'm really gonna enjoy my weekend. Yeah. I'm going out with one of my cousins. You could go whenever you're ready. I'll just keep talking. Don't let me keep you. I have a cousin. We're pretty close, so we make a point like at least, and it's more often than that, but like at least every other month we come together. It's a small group of us, but there's two, myself and one, that if we say like this is going to be our day, like we're going out to do something, we will plan the rest of our life, everything else around that. We try not to let anything interfere with that. Yeah. So tomorrow we're gonna go. He's gonna go with me because it's his friend that's gonna be painting the car for me. So he's gonna go along with me. Then when I hand over the car, I'll come back down with him. And we are going by the beach. This a friend of mine, a gentleman that used to work with me, he's retired now. His church doing this thing like you could eat and have music and so on by the seaside. So we're gonna pass through by that early and just relax. Might actually go on the beach in the water, might just relax and learn with the different people, but it's gonna be really nice and relaxing. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Then after that, I'll probably come home. I think anything else is happening tomorrow. And then Sunday, I might actually be home as well because if I'm without my card, the transportation where I live, the public transportation is not the best. So I might mostly stay home and relax myself. Yeah. So I won't be able to get to church for 7 o'clock. That would be a bit of a challenge to be doing that without my own transportation. So I'm going to flow with it and I'm going to relax myself because probably I need to be resting myself. Right? Yeah. So it's going to be a nice slow day. Nice and relaxing. Just do what I have to do around the house and relax. So if you want, you can send and tell me what are your plans for the weekend, how you're going to be spending it, what you are most looking forward to. Yeah, how was your week? How are you feeling about your good good afternoon? Hello, hello, hello. How are you? It's good to see you. How was your day? I'm just here chatting a bit, talking about my weekend. how my week went and so on, my plans for the weekend. It's looking like it's going to be really nice and relaxing. What about you? How was your day? How was your week? What are you doing for the weekend? You think you had a good week or your week was kind of stressful? You're just glad it's over and it's Friday. I don't even know if you work on weekends or if you will be off that you could relax. You just got home. You had a long day. Yeah, I'm glad that you're home now that you could get some rest. Yeah. And you're going to get a nice shower, relax, get something to eat. Don't know if you like to watch the TV or be on the internet, what you do to relax. But yeah, gotta be able to find ways to de-stress, to kind of separate. I know it's easier said than done, but to kind of separate the life out there from when you're going, and then when you come home, you know. Yeah. It's not so simple that you can just, I don't know if some people get it done easily, but for me, it's not so easy that you just flip a switch. Sometimes you're at work and you're studying what you have to do at home, and sometimes you're at home and you're still processing. It'll take a while to decompress. You're still processing all whatever happened during the day, and maybe even you had hoped to get something done and you didn't, and you're like, shh. Now that has to roll over till tomorrow, and I had other things planned for tomorrow. Yeah. Hmm. My day was good. Um, we had like this little learning day thing at work. They do it. How often they do it? At least once a month. Yeah, you get to learn different topics. So today it was like a financial planning kind of thing, insurance and retirement and different things like that. It was pretty interesting. Mostly stuff I already know, but it was pretty interesting. Yeah, and then we got to have lunch. And there were my workmates. Her son, his birthday is Monday. He normally comes when he comes in. When mom gets in from school and he comes in, he would normally come and hang out there by me. So his birthday is going to be Monday. Yeah. So I was giving him some extra attention and loving on him. That was nice. Just talking, talking about different things. Yeah, the young people that keep my heart young. And that's probably it. I can't think of anything else that stood out in terms of my day. It was just a nice day, an ordinary day, and beautiful in its ordinariness. That's a word. Yeah, it was a nice day. Yeah, finance is good to learn. I really feel that we should be teaching it all from when children are like in primary school, from when they're young and come up. The importance of saving and especially investing. We don't really talk a lot about investing. As I don't know about you, but we come up with this kind of mentality like you're just struggling, you're just trying to survive, just trying to survive, just trying to survive, struggling, struggling, struggling. That even before payday, the money's already being spent. Yeah, we don't really got that extra money. Like, what can we do to help generate more money too? It's just about survival, survival, survival. If I could save a little something, and mind you, the banks, you hardly get any interest or anything now. I don't know about you. But yeah, so that was the part that interests me. But it wasn't really, they said, like, at the end, they said if you want to deal with asset management and investing and all kind of different things, they had to give me a number for like some of the a lady, a different person that deals with that. So I would explore that when I'm ready. Yeah. But it's really good to learn about it. Investing is good. Exactly. Put your money to work and then so you could get like passive income too. Right? All these are the kind of conversation I like to have. Yeah. Where you can be learning things. As I said, for your children, but even then when you come to the place of understanding, be sure to share that with somebody else. Something that was kind of I always use this word revolutionary, but like this eye-opening thing. I went to the bank to get a small loan. When I had first started getting the renovations done on the house, first I started out of pocket. Then I went and I got this small loan. And this lady that was a loans officer, she was the first person who really took the time to sit down and explain to me like what is your credit score and so on. And then she asked if I had a credit card. I said I had one there, but I have it paid off. I don't use it or anything. And she told me, well, you will have to actually cancel it because although you have it and you're not using it, it's still going to be affecting your credit score. You see, something as simple and easy as that. Yeah, so of course I went then and I did that, but it's like knowledge is power, nobody never really took the time to, obviously that's not the first loan I would have gotten, but no one ever really takes the time to go through different things and explain to how we arrive at was your all these things, these are your assets, these are your liabilities, this is what you can do to improve your score, things like that. This was considered maybe good debt, this bad debt, things like that. Really eye-opening. Your bank follows through. Mm-hmm. Really? I didn't even know Royal Bank is based in Barbados. Somewhere everything based in Trinidad and Tobago. I didn't know that. To be honest, I use Royal Bank too, but I just keep them there. I mostly, I don't know if you have credit unions, if you use credit unions. There was a time when the banks, they had lowered their interest like next to nothing. And then on the other hand, they started charging you for every single thing you're doing. Everything. You want to go inside the bank and deal with a teller, it's a fee. You want to use the ATM, it's a fee. Yet when you use the ATM, you can only take off certain amount of money. Need more than what you can get at the ATM. Obviously, you have to go to the teller, and even if you explain the situation, but I am coming to you because the ATM can satisfy me at this point in time, it's still a fee. Or if it's like you need to like deposit a check or something. But I think it has changed now. But there was a time that if you would deposit a check, you will have to like, if you try to deposit it through the ATM, you have to a few business days before the money is available. So for that kind of thing, you need to go in the bank. Like in other words, they want to be like flexible or like fluid, apply reasoning, understanding to it. If there's a fee, there's a fee. You want to have a paper statement every quarter or so, that's a fee. It was ridiculous. So then I just started mostly using the credit union and I just kept the bank because it's not everything the credit union could do. I don't let them stress me because I must live. Not even just live, I must thrive. I don't stress about these things. I really don't. But it can be frustrating, especially for like dealing with my mom, like for senior citizens. Sometimes you can't even like call and hear a human voice. Sometimes I feel like it's too much for them though. If you want this, press this, and then inevitably sometimes you just get an answering machine. Some of these things are too stressful for them. I know there was a time I was taking my mom. Was she trying to close an account? Something she was trying to do. And they told her that she would need 2 forms of ID. As I said, my mom is in her early 90s. She has a passport long expired. She has a driver's license like long expired. So what else she's gonna have in terms of ID other than her ID card? Once again, you gotta be able to be flexible with things. Yeah, you have credit unions. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And the money is not growing or anything. It's just there. So they said knowledge is power. So these people that came today, they were like, if you really want to be getting that interest rate and so on, it's better to save through insurance than, through the bank and the credit union in terms of the interest rate. Yeah. But obviously they will bring it over a certain way to suit their purpose too. But when it comes to these things, I like to find somebody. If I want to find out about insurance and to compare what are the benefits, what makes insurance better than credit union and bank, or what makes the bank better, I would try to find somebody that's not attached to any that could be more objective, right? Because I would be telling myself, but if I'm talking to an insurance agent, obviously he's going to be telling me certain things because he's trying to convince me to go with them, you know? Yeah. So I try to find somebody that's well versed, either as a professional or that person themselves has had experience with investing and different things like that, that could advise me. Even they have things like government bonds and treasury bonds and savings bonds, a lot of different things, and you don't really as I said, these are things we should be educating ourselves on from young. You don't really understand them. Sometimes you just hear them and you're like, oh, that's just up in the sky. That's for the wealthy people. And it's not because you don't need that big amount of money to get started with those things, but because it's not like something that comes into the normal conversation, we think then, this beyond my reach. It's not for me. It's not for me. Paying bills and like just saving the little coppers. That's for me. Those other things out there now for the wealthy people, but that's not true. So yeah, I'm glad we're chatting about this because it's gonna motivate me now. Sooner, but I did write it and make a note to look into it in terms of like the minimum amount I need and so on. But now I'm chatting with you. I'm gonna I'm gonna do it sooner rather than later. I'm gonna look into it. Yeah, she's still fairly active. She's 92, but in my family there's longevity, right? I shared that last. I was talking about my grandmother and how she had these 13 children. My grandmother lived to be in her 80s. Most of my aunts either up to mid 90s. I think the eldest so far has lived to be 96. Right, but either late 80s, early and mid 90s. Yeah, most of them. So mom now is 92 and mom is the youngest out of them. There's another aunt above her that I think she is 94 and will be 95 in September. So far, nobody has reached 100. We will see. Yeah. So that's mom's side. And then on my father's side, too, is similar 90s. So I got them good genes. Actually, within, I was trying to remember which year, but I think it was 2024. It seemed like such a long time, but I think it was really only like 2 years ago that mom started dabbling in art. Yeah. I would go to visit her and she would be practicing her writing and drawing, sketching things and coloring. I said, well, I'm going to buy a coloring book for you. And then I said, you're not just going to color pictures. I'm going to buy a sketch pad for you. And you can practice drawing your own things and coloring. I was surprised to see how well my mother could get these things done. Obviously, it's a gift, but she was never able to nurture it and fully explore it because in the time when hello from London, how are you? It's good to see you. Yeah, as an older person, that's true. Yeah, very good genes, very good genes indeed. Yeah. So what I was saying. Yeah, I'm saying back in the time when mom and my aunts and so on, persons of that age, when they went to school, education was free only up to a certain age, maybe 12, 13, 14. Now, most of them were not that old, but up to a certain age. And then if you wanted to progress beyond that, you had to pay. So, of course, many of them only went up to that age and then you had to come out and go on. Probably study under somebody. When it's a study, get that experience, learn some kind of skill, something to make money, which is actually a good thing too. But I can imagine how far along she would be without her if she was able to. But next time I come on, I have a painting there in the front house that she did. I will bring it and show you. Yeah. Or maybe I'll put a photo. I'll put a photo in the comments. Yeah. When I finish this live here. Very talented, and it gives her joy to right. So as I share, she started with the coloring book, then the sketch pad, and then I arranged for a lovely young artist. There's a young lady that she does like life sketches, sometimes you go and you see people like on the street and so on. You can sit down and have the person draw you. Yeah, she's very talented. I arranged for her to go and give mom a lesson. So then mom got even better with the portraits. And when she came to give her another one, she brought some canvas that she had. And then I in turn I started buying some canvas. So mom put the first one in her house. She gave me one. She gave my daughter one. She gave my neighbor one. And her neighbor. And she says she doesn't want to sell it or anything. It's like she just wants to be remembered. She wants to let when she's gone, that person can look at it, and it's really beautiful. Yeah, really beautiful thing. Of course, they were talent, but they did not have the opportunity. So talented. Yep. You don't have to tell me. So talented. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Never had that opportunity to express themselves. Right? Yeah, very, very talented in art, can fix things easily, can make things. And the sad part, sometimes some of them like they long to be able to pass it on. I remember there was a gentleman here in Barbados that he was a saddler. Was a saddler. Somebody that would make saddles. I'm not sure if he did the horseshoes as well, but definitely the saddling. And he lived to be like 100 and something, maybe 104 or 105, something like that. And up to that age, he was still able. He said he would catch the bus and go and visit a friend that was like a fair little distance away. But he said he can find like a young person that was interested in learning that. And that's one thing he wants to know that when he leaves this earth, he has passed on his knowledge and his talent and so on to somebody. Yeah, people really talented. Mm-hmm. Yeah, boy. Capable of a lot. Yeah. It's nice you will know people that they can cook. Well, everyone has a gift anyway, you know. They can make clothes well, they can cook well. Like my uncle, he was a very good joiner. Yeah. He used to drink very strong though. So he probably never really fully exploited his talent, but very talented, very, very talented in joining. Yeah. All these different things. Today you have no exactly YouTube. Yeah. It's true. It's true. You don't even have to leave home and you don't even have to say that you pay. Because I started exploring, it was on Instagram, there was some pages with people sewing. And so you don't even have to go and do classes. You could just come and check out the YouTube page. It's true. You raise a good point. You can learn from the professionals. Yes. Yes, you can. Yeah. Yeah. hmm A lot of people do it either they want you to pay or they just share the knowledge, which I feel is a good thing because I feel when you live your life like that, you never really lose, you know? You have knowledge, pass it on. It's not going to take anything away from you. Yeah. So many different things, yeah. And younger people know they don't lack for opportunity. So if you hear my mother and the older people talking, and some is the comparing their time to this time, you know, and I like to hear when they could be honest and they could be like, yeah, the good old days, it was a lot of goodness because it was more like tight knit, people there for each other more and that kind of thing. And they used to live better, you know, it was a richer, when it's a richer, you understand what I mean, a richer life, a richer experience, right? But then they're still able to sell it in these times now. There's more opportunity. Things open up more for people to do things. But sometimes we don't really be seizing the opportunity. The opportunity is there, but we don't really be seizing it. But in their time, they would have been glad to have these things. Today is your round there. All right. You go and have your is RUN rum. That's what I thought that you said. You're really doing the Bajan thing. You know the rum started in Barbados. Thanks so much for saying hello, and you have a wonderful weekend. You're going to enjoy your rum. All right. Stay safe and you enjoy. Enjoy. It's a pleasure chatting with you. I'm sure we will chat again another time. All right. Bye bye. Yeah, we'll have a good weekend. You have a good one too. I appreciate you. I'm gonna wait like 2 minutes and see if anyone else comes on. And if not, I'm gonna be like adios. And as I said, go and call mom, maybe watch the news, take my time and cook, have my shower. Yeah, remember to put that photo there in the chat though. The water. Really enjoying just chatting and getting to know people, you know. Change my heart, oh God, make it ever true. Change my heart, oh God, may it be like you. Thou art the potter, I am the clay. La la la. You know I always have to la 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 with these songs. La la la. La 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 la. Change my heart, oh God. Make it ever true. Change my heart, oh God. May it be like you. Create in me a clean heart and purify me, purify me. Create in me a clean heart so that I may worship you. Create in me a clean heart and purify me, purify me. Create in me a clean heart so that I may worship you. Draw me close to you. Never let me go. I lay it all down again. I got the drum. To hear you say that I'm your friend. You are my desire. Don't mind the throat, don't mind the sinus throat. Nothing else will do. 'Cause nothing else can take your place. To feel the warmth of your embrace. Help me find the way to bring me back to you. You're all I want. You're all I've ever needed. You're all I want. Help me know you are near. You're all I want. You're all I've ever needed. You're all I want. Help me know you are near. I remember where I started. When I started in life, what did I say? Nothing can separate us from God's love. Know that you are loved, and more importantly, know that you are deserving of love. That's the difference too, right? Yeah. Sometimes you know that you're loved, but you think, like, How can I be loved? I'm not deserving of it, you know. Know your worth, your value, know that you're deserving of love, deserving of the best too. Don't settle. Which brings me, I don't know if I should send out advance greetings for Sunday, which is International Women's Day. I don't know if I'm gonna come back on. Maybe I'll do a video rather than a live. Yeah, but as I started know about know your worth and know your value and so on, immediately that came to my mind. Yeah, strength of a woman. There's something that I was reflecting on too. I don't want to get ahead of myself. As I said, it probably might try to at least do a video. I might just want to spend Sunday offline and just to myself peacefully. But in order for me to get home now, I shared this evening we were talking about the terrible state of the roads and the road, the most straightforward road for me to be using right now as I go back and forth. That has been under construction for quite some time. Okay, quite some time. Let me leave it at that. So I have two choices, two maybe three. Yeah, in terms of how I have to detour. Kind of both of them are quite lonely and long and winding. One of them you have to go up a hill and then eventually you come back down. But that detour in itself is very terrible, very rickety, lots of potholes, and it is what it is. But as I was going up the hill, I saw two men. I want to say young men. I want to put them in their 40s walking up. And immediately I said to myself, even before I reach them, they're going to be looking back. And you know why they're looking back? They're looking back to see if they can find someone who's going to give them a lift up the hill. And I remember that at one stage where my office was situated in the building near to the airport, and it would be quite some. I don't live near the airport, so it used to be quite a drive for me. I say quite a drive, maybe like 35 minutes, 40 minutes at most if the traffic isn't bad, right? Um, but at one point, as I journey to and fro, there's a place there along the stretches. It's a chicken processing place that you will get quite a number of persons working there, but there's no bus stop, nothing like that, you know, within close vicinity. So as you drive, you will always see people then walking. I guess they leave the chicken place and they cross the road and then they have to walk like to the nearest roundabout and then probably still turn and go off and still a bit of a walk then to where you will get to a bus stop and get a bus. And I always observe as I drive along there, if it's that a woman by herself or even two women walking, you know what they do? They simply one foot in front of the other, although it's a stretch. They just stay focused and they walk until they reach wherever they have to go and get the bus. If it's a man, inevitably, as I said, as he goes along, he's looking back to try to thumb a ride. And part of that, yes, might be like the safety that a woman is not going to be so open to just ask a stranger, thumb a lift. But part of it is also like a mindset thing, you know? Yeah. And they put that in the bigger picture now, like spiritually and in terms of our makeup and so on. Like saying that in the same vein, a mother will go and like take a job working at a gas station or out in the field working hard in the sun doing different things like that because she's not going to stand like know that her children are hungry. The strength of a woman, you know? Yeah. We put up with a lot. We very strong persons, very resilient persons. I spoke already about my grandmother, about my mother. So then also the flip side of that is sometimes I love how this blending perfectly with what I want to say. Sometimes we like lose that softness. We don't know how to allow persons then to be there for us. There's something that happens in Caribbean society. I like to think not so much now, but like in times before, Sometimes men will not always be there for their children, so the mother will have to step up, and in stepping up, the mother has to be the father and the mother. The mother has to be tough. The mother has to be strong. There's not a lot of room for tears, right? You probably go and you have your little tears to the side, but at the end of having made while you're having those tears, your children's still there. They need to be clothed, they need to be fed, you need to have that guidance as best you can, you know? So I find traditionally now, as that came out and women had to come and be so strong and to be so tough and be the provider, a lot of us don't know now. Like when that good man actually comes into our life to play that role, to be the provider, to be the protector, to be there um, to shield us and to guide us and to take the lead. A lot of us women, we don't know how to allow that because we never experienced having it, you know? So once again, know that you are loved, that you are loved. You are loved by God, which is the greatest love. And allow yourself to be loved by God. Love yourself. See that you are worthy of love. And then God will in that kind of good love. That man walks into your life, you know, and he's able to represent that love as a man is to be and so on. Yeah. Be able to open up yourself, keep yourself soft. You know, that's one of the things. Here I am talking, and he said I was going to leave you all. I was asked, I have to prepare, like, respond to this questionnaire for someone that wanted to feature me. They doing a tribute to women and so on for the same Women's Day. And one of the questions is like my achievements, things that I think I've accomplished career-wise. And I'm gonna find somewhere to mention that one of the things I'm proudest about, especially as a woman, is the ability to keep myself soft. And it might sound strange. I don't look at things the way people normally look at things. Remember that I'm a bit different. I'm a lot different. Yeah. But in all things, as I said, I always stay true to myself. So I'm gonna find a way to bring out that part. That's something that's a big deal for me, that I've been able to keep myself soft. And it hasn't taken away from my strength in no regard. Furthermore, it probably takes more strength to keep your heart and keep yourself soft. Whether professionally, personally, think about it, study it, food for thought. I'm gonna go. God bless you. Thank you to those who passed by. I enjoyed the interaction as always. It was wholesome. It was fulfilling. It was thought-provoking. Great. I want us to continue to learn from each other, cheer on each other, and encourage each other. You see how we were there chatting about the finances and investment and that kind of thing. Yeah, and we talk about life in the Caribbean and different things like that. I really enjoy that a lot. It's really nice. So I'm going to leave you to have a blessed, 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 blessed weekend. May your spirit be refreshed and your body, you know. Hope you can get some good rest and some good quality time with your loved ones and so on. All right, that's it for me this time. Bye, everybody. Bye.